Hello, beautiful people. Once again, welcome to the Catalyst African Town Hall. My name is Daniel, the programs manager for the Catalyst African Town Hall, and we have been doing this for the past 4 years, educating the Africa community about Cardano and also advocating the adoption of blockchain in Africa. Over the years, we have worked with a lot of universities, and also our platform have been one of the platforms that people come to interact, connect, and even network, right? All about Cardano and pushing the agenda forward. And tonight, we have a very great agenda to discuss. Yeah, but before I'll bring the speaker in today, I would like to give you a little bit of update that is going on in the Cardano ecosystem. We all know about Project Catalyst and where we are now. Yeah, so currently there's no proposal submission, right? The deadline have passed. The deadline was on 27th November. But currently what is going on is a community review which is going to last from now till 15th of December. And most of you are community reviewers, and that's why we are not seeing you on the call today. But that is all fine. It's being recorded and we share with you later on. And so just after the community review, like the normal rules, right? We go into the voting period, which is from the 13th January to 27th January 2026. So voting period is within that time, and then also somewhere 29th January, the results should be in, and then February, we're going to see the onboarding. So these data are just they are subject to change. And so when they change, we'll also come back here to update you on that. Midnight is being launched, will be launched on 8th December. So please check out those of us who took part in the airdrop. Yeah, we'll get a chance to claim our night. When we're talking about privacy on Cardano, then you can't you can't leave midnight out. Midnight is the privacy that we'll be looking for. We have any other update that we want to give, but let's pause here and hear from our main resource person, who is the name of Francisco, representing the Eccentric Labs. So, Francisco, before you go on with your presentation, right, we want to hear about you. What brought you to Cardano, Francisco?
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. No, Cardano, I know Cardano almost since I started in Web3, so this was around 2017, 2018. And Cardano has always been since I'm in this place, one of the biggest and one of the most interesting chains out there, right? So, and I have been following it since then. And I know I'm part of the community, of course, some years more involved, some years less involved, but it's something that I have been tracking a lot. And I believe that it's probably one of the strongest projects using blockchain, and we have been seeing it, right, how successful it has been worldwide.
Amazing, amazing. So, Francisco, tell us about Eccentric Labs. What brought it about? Or what is it about?
Yeah, so Eccentric Labs, I I lead Eccentric Labs, so I'm the CEO. And how it started, it was actually to help our fund. So we work very closely with Infrastructure Ventures. That is a fund that focuses on emerging markets. So on the global south, the three main regions are Latin America, Africa, and Southeast Asia. And Eccentric Labs was created to help the fund identify and to support talented founders, right? Because as we know, it's just not the identification. We then need to help them achieve their goals, provide, tooling, advisory, and so enable them with the right environment so that they can be successful. And so Eccentric Labs, that's exactly what we do. We have our own platform, and in each region and each chain that we work with, we focus on the community and environment that we are able to create to, let's say, improve the chances of, the products, projects, and founders to then become successful.
Amazing, amazing. And tonight we will be looking at platform that you have built to help funders, right? If I understand.
Yes, exactly. So we have been working in the past year with Cardano. So we got funded in Fund 13 on Catalyst. And so I personally worked, with Cardano before, but we then, let's say, expanded because of Catalyst. It helped us to then operationally, invest much more into the ecosystem. And we have been building a community for Mandarin speaking founders. So they are mostly based in China, Taiwan, Singapore, and Southeast Asia. And so we have the platform that is, translated all in Mandarin. The program is in Mandarin, the advisors in Mandarin. And so we built this platform, and we have been very successful in that region.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So Francisco, we will let me just give you the platform. Now you are the captain, right? Take it over. If you want to share your screen,
Okay.
yeah, feel free to share your screen. We have amazing people here that they are also funders, startup co-founders that they will learn a lot from you and also how they can partner with you to push your agenda forward. So feel free, go ahead, present. At the end, we'll give the community members the chance to ask you any question that they want or any idea that they want to discuss with you. Thank
Yes,
you.
I will try to be very quick, right? Because I always love a good discussion. And so
Yes.
what I will do is I will just, quickly present Eccentric Labs, infrastructure ventures, a bit of what we do, and then how are you, how are we helping Cardano in the growth of the ecosystem, and then we pass for the questions. So I'm going to just share my screen. Okay, so now you can see my screen, correct? Or it's not showing? No, you can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Ah, okay. Just to confirm. So we focus a lot on ecosystem growth, and how do we do that? We focus on founders. So what happens is, of course, that we it needs to be technical founders, but that's our focus. So turn devs, people that are building products, and companies, and turn them into founders, right? That I believe it's a quite different mindset than just being a dev. And so we try to bring them that missing piece, so they are able to create successful businesses. So firstly, of course, with the Eccentric Labs, I already talked a bit about it. I can then also make available this presentation. Um, so with the resources of the call, with the recording. So I think that would be useful. So with time, you can just go through it and learn a bit more about us. And we focus on founders on the early stage, so normally pre-seed, seed stage, and we have entrepreneurial programs. It's so why do we have this approach? So our it all started, as we know, from Infrastructure Ventures, and our managing partner, he worked at Stanford Research Institute, that is one of the biggest R&D labs in the US and also one of the most successful. And they had, many researchers that then become successful founders. So that's all what he did. And to do a quick example, he was part of the team that made the incubation to Siri, right? That when it was launched to market, quickly was acquired by Apple, as we know, for more than $200 million. And then after all of these success cases, he decided to become a founder in Silicon Valley, right? So, and he was part of 4 startups where 3 were acquired, 1 went public. And then after that, I met him, and we decided to join forces and, let's say, share the knowledge across the world, because something that we believe, and that's the thesis of our fund, Infrastructure Ventures, is that we invest in lost Einsteins. So these are brilliant people around the world that are underserved in terms of opportunity, capital, resources, right? And so what we try to do with our platform programs is we try to bring the same opportunity as someone that would live in London or California or Hong Kong, right? Because in these regions, that's where most of the capital of the world is located. But we cannot say the same for talent, right? So we believe that talent is distributed more or less equally around the world. They just don't have the same opportunity, right? So that's what we focus on, and that is our belief. Then let's say, what's the problem that we try to solve, that we see a lot? There is a big disconnection, between many of the players on the ecosystem, right? And so what we bring is a platform where this environment that we discussed, right? We enable a constant feedback loops, right? And so it's not just a work group or a team with one advisor that then launches the product, right? So we try to be very customer centric, right? And so being customer centric, we need to enable founders to be able to test their products, and bring this Silicon Valley mindset of understanding the customer first before even building the whole product, right? Because we see it a lot happening, and one of the biggest problems is that there is a lot of building, but then no one uses the product, right? Or a certain tool, because there was not a need to begin with, and so there is a lot of pivoting. So it's something that we focus a lot, and it's the first step to be a successful founder. It's to solve a market need, right? So of course that this is much easier said than done. Then, so of course that we did a lot of market analysis, and I always like to share with fellow founders and ecosystems of what are the main reasons, why startups fail, right? And as we can see here is the market need, and that's our biggest focus. And then, as we can see here, the most common is market issues, right? So if we look at the 10, around 10 first, let's say that seven of them, right, have a circle near to it, meaning that is related to market issues. And so that's our biggest focus. And of course, that with our network of investment, we then support on the financial issues when we are able to, right? But we believe that bringing the opportunity is much more important than the money itself, right? Because if you are on the right track, sooner or later, you'll get investment, right? Because if you are doing the right thing, it's just a matter of time. Let me know if you have any questions, right? I'm just here preaching, but I'm very open to respond to any questions. And so what we focus on is four core topics. So integration, mapping, academy, and investment. Of course, this may vary with the goals of the ecosystem or the type of growth. So we have very different founder paths that are possible, right? So um, companies may have very unique paths. If you are early stage, if you just have an idea, or you are mid stage, right? If you are mid stage, maybe you just need a connection, an introduction, right? And you already have the team and the infrastructure to make it a success. If you are very early stage, right? Maybe you need more education and a bigger vision to support you and deliver on the North Star of where should you be going at that specific stage, right? And so within the platform, this is exactly what we focus on, right? And viewing on the perspective of the community leaders, right? That's also what we did in for the Mandarin speaking community. We enable these communities to support their founders and support their fellow devs into giving them more chances to not only be successful but also to prove their work, prove their development, and also get exposure to a global market of investors or opportunities for business, right? um, So how do we do this? Right. So as I mentioned, the platform itself, we can say that it's one of our main products. So it's the contents of the programs and then the platform itself. And Eccentric Labs being a data company, so we are very, very focused in doing this data analysis because we cannot forget that one of our goals is to support infrastructure ventures into their investment decisions, right? And so not only uh, our fund, but also our investor network, right? And so what we try to do is collect the data of the founders, right? In terms of their, let's say we do some studies in terms of their personality, resilience, hunger to be successful, and then of course tech capabilities and team, so we can, as better as possible, know their potential and then recommend them to the right type of investor, right? Because there are many different investors, and we try to align their thesis with the products and companies that are being built. So that's one of the things that we focus on. And so on the platform, what happens, and that's also one of our proposals on Catalyst, right? Because we saw the need of the French-speaking community in Africa to make available this tool for them. And also we already have the platform in English, right? So we would be able to have it in English and French. And I think that would be very interesting. And so from the network that the community already has, right, we are able to provide you access to manage your community inside of the platform. And you can bring on partners like advisors, investors, or even your own programs and content, right? So you can onboard it to the platform. And then what enables is the communication between all of these stakeholders, right? So imagine that the founder is doing a specific program. We can have advisors and investors to come in and provide feedback, right? And we even have a feature that is quite interesting that is called peer review. And so imagine that you have a go-to-market strategy or you have a product architecture that you outlined before even starting to build the product, and you want it to be reviewed, to be, get some feedback. And so this peer review, what enables is you make a submission and then it's public to every participant. So other founders come in, provide feedback, Maybe an advisor will come in, provide feedback. Maybe a technical investor can come in, provide feedback. And as you collect this feedback, you can improve on them and resubmit, and then they can provide feedback again. And so it's a loop of brainstorm and work that is very, very helpful when you are building a company and certain products. I believe that feedback is one of the most important things to do. And so that's what we enable here, right? And then at the end, right, what we enable is the decision making of, partners, investors, whoever may be, right, in terms of uh, the business development of these companies, and other opportunities that may arise, right? And so that's it for this specific presentation. It was just a quick information about what we do and how we approach, let's say, the market. Now I can share a bit about of what we are doing in for the Mandarin speaking community. So let me just share my screen. We are actually doing maintenance on the platform. Today is Friday, late Friday, but nevertheless, I will quickly show. Let's see. Because I have three screens. Let's see, give me just a second. Mhm. Um, okay, no problem. I will just share it as there is. Okay, you can see my screen, correct?
Yes.
Hopefully. Okay, okay, great. So as you can see here, this is the platform that we have. Right now, it just has here the morning because we are doing some maintenance as it's the end of the day. But very quickly, I'm going to enter. Let's see if all plays well with maintenance. Okay, let me read my account. Okay, now you can see my screen, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so now this is as I would, log in into the platform. I'm on my own account, and let's say that we want to see one of the programs. So as you can see here, this is the dashboard. We have, a calendar and several programs. As I'm not enrolled, it doesn't show up here the programs, but let's very quickly show here one of the examples. So this is one of the programs. Of course, that I don't speak Mandarin, but this is just an example, of what we are doing. So just for you guys to understand a bit of what we do, right? So we have here, this is Cardano architecture, right? And we have here the content that is available for the founders, right? So the founders have the content. They are able to access, of course, external links, but we have a lot of documentation and guides that were translated in Mandarin. And so maybe what we can do is, let's see here. So a number of participants. Well, I think I have here the access to their email, so it's better not really go through them. But the platform itself is very interesting, right? So and personalized. So as we can see here, we can see that we have content, we have quizzes, and then several types of submissions, right? And the success that we had in this specific case, it was very, very good because we had the target to get 40 graduations, right? And so we would need around, 50 founders, a bit more than that. And at the end, right now, we have more than 100 founders registered on the platform. Let's see, even if this is in maintenance, let's see if we can access very quickly some of the information that is available. And what happens is so the numbers are quite amazing because we have more than 100 projects, and actually for Fund 15, more than 16 projects applied, right? And so we already start to see the outcome of all of this development and support, right? And so as we can see here, in the last week, we had 27 active users, active founders on the platform, and 4 new founders were onboarded. Yeah, last this week. Yeah, this was this week exactly. Right. And so we see a lot of development. Only some of the features are available because of the maintenance, but I believe that this is enough, right? So just last week we had 27 active founders on the platform, and it's really good to see, the involvement. And so this is the goal that we have for uh, let's see. Yeah, because I'm on the admin, so and in maintenance sometimes. But so I also want to share here the report that we did on the forum that I think it's quite interesting. Let's see. Let me know if you have any questions. So I did this. I think it was yeah 3 days ago. So here we are very transparent, right? This was a report to the community, just saying of the current achievements of our work, right? So as I mentioned, we got the funding in Fund 13, and here are the projects that applied for Fund 15. Some of them were for the midnight, that I believe it's very, very interesting and very important for Cardano. Is really good to see, right, with the ZK and all of these new possibilities that are brought to the ecosystem. So I'm very excited to see these new projects come to life. So on our side, we also applied for, as I mentioned, Fund 15, and one of our focuses is have the platform translated to French, right? And so our goal is to enable the community leaders in the region, like yourselves, to then enable new founders, right? In Mandarin speaking community, we even had Web2 devs and founders coming in, right? That is quite amazing. And so that's what we are trying to do, right? And I would love to get your opinion on our proposals. We did some, but I think that the French speaking one is one of the most important because there is a very big need here, and we will be able to enable the community to grow and scale a lot. Now let's pass to questions.
Hi, Francisco. That's very impressive and very educative presentation. Personally, I'm very interested in your project. So the first time you discussed with me, I was like, no, this is something that I would like my entire community to also get a feel of it because most of or majority of the people on the call are founders building on the Cardano or have something to do with Cardano. So thank you very much for sharing with us what you are doing and especially your platform to change to translate your platform and some of your resources into French. We have a lot of French speaking community members here. One of them is Olivier, based in Congo, DR Congo. Yeah, speak French.
Hmm.
Yes, he's now learning English. So your platform can also be very beneficial to Olivier. So I think yeah, that's a very great platform that you have there, and I'm sure there are other people too that might also want to collaborate with you to expand because I know people like OBO have a whole community working with a lot of students, a lot of devs and AI developers in Nigeria. I know Madam Efia to have a very big hub in Ghana. They are also here. I know the Unified Cardano community. They are also amazing, right? So it's very great that you are here today. And I will not talk much, right? Let me give you the power back to the community. If somebody wants to ask Francisco any question, clarification, or anything, please don't feel shy. Unmute. Unmute and talk. Any question for Francisco?
I think Oliver had asked a question in there. He says, "Can you ask a resource? Can we
Uh,
have a
can we
resource?
have a resource in order to explore? Okay, so I'm sure it's asking for the link to your
The
platform
link,
to read
yeah.
more. It, it's not
The
available yet. The site is not launched.
For the French, the French is not lunch, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
have here the link for the Cardano platform, right, as I showed. So
Okay.
this is the login page, right? As I just showed when well, now it doesn't even show because it's in maintenance. Okay. Uh, yeah, but I showed in a bit. It was live. Now it's 100% in maintenance. But you can keep that link, and then if you want to even know more about the project itself, I have here the link from Catalyst.
Okay.
So our output is all public, right? So you are able to go to the provided links and drives, right? And you're able to see your progress.
Okay. Amazing. Oh, I saw Lucas here. I was about to bring him in. He's gone. Okay, that's fine. Obi, I noticed you unmute yourself. Any contribution for us?
Yeah, sorry, I popped in late, so I have questions or this thing I didn't want to ask and let it not be as if you've missed a lot, so that's why you're probably asking this question. But maybe not to sound this thing. I just wanted to know. So at Remostat we do have what we call the Remostat AI and Blockchain Labs here in Nigeria, and it's a community of founders and developers, right? So we help developers. We bring developers and founders that are interested to build AI and blockchain, obviously specifically Cardano related this thing together, and we do different projects for them. We have venture studios for the founders. We have currently we are working with Catalyst African Town Hall. We want to bring up something we call developer in residence, where developers are like just a residency program for developers, right, and all that. So for me, it's just how do we benefit from this? How do we, as Remostad Labs, or our community, or our founders, who benefits from this and how?
Yeah, so great question. Thank you. The approach that we want to have, right? And that's the proposal. It's very clear that the proposal that we did for Catalyst is that we want to enable the community leaders. So the goal is the following. We already have the in English. We want to have it in French. And then we always have available at minimum two programs. One is more for early stage founders, that it's customer centricity, where imagine that you are a technical founder and you want to build your business plan. So this program helps you understand your product and how to turn your product into a business. So that is the program that want to make available. And then the second program is called Path to Capital, on how to understand investment, right? How to position yourself, how to then, as you build your business, you are positioned to then receive external investment, right? To not be dependent on grants. That's one of the biggest goals on that Path to Capital program. So these two programs develop, and what happens is we want to identify the current Cardano communities, and we want to partner with you guys. We need your help, and we want to enable you. So imagine I would have you on the platform as, admin, and you would be able to enroll and recommend founders to access these programs, and even have some content there from your community, right? Like frequent asked questions, or some support links, with your community Calendly, and even the community events, right? As I showed there, we have a calendar. If you use like Luma and these links, we can automate it. So each time any of the communities in Africa, right, they want to share an event about Cardano, it will appear inside of the platform for everyone, right? So what it will do is it will enable better communication, and even the community leaders will be able to see what other communities are doing, right? And we can also imagine that on your community, you already know people that were successful and they want to help other founders, right? They can become, advisors. Imagine that a local investor that is looking to explore, I'm not so sure, but I would like to understand, what's going on. Maybe sooner or later I will invest, right? We can provide them access so they are familiarized and build the trust for them to invest into the ecosystem, right? So that is our goal. What do you think, Ubio?
Yeah, I think this is so brilliant. Like that's just my response from my side. I think this is so brilliant, and yeah, I can't wait to see everything fully ready, and yeah, sign us in. I think I don't know how we would. I think my community. I didn't just say me. I mean, all of my community would want to be part of this movement, and we would want to. Yeah, I think we would benefit a lot from it.
So I think you're muted.
Yes. Now let's get connected. Let's get connected. I can share, or X or LinkedIn, here for us to connect and then discuss it, right?
Amazing. These are some of the stories that makes some of the real-time connections and networking that makes South African Town Hall still the number one platform when it comes to Cardano in Africa, the networking part of it, right? Yeah, yeah. So like I mentioned earlier on, OBO have a whole community in Nigeria. Um, yeah. So that's the handle, Francisco
So I
underscore
had
Rick
here
on this.
I had here a question. So how are we onboarding founders for the partnership? So that's the process that we need to establish, right? So that is not set yet. We want to, that's why I'm here, to meet the community leaders, maybe have a call with each of them, and then understand for the specific community what is the best to onboard them. Would like the most, it would be by recommendation. So we can open applications, right? But we normally like it to be by recommendation, because then it's not a link that it's just can be botted, let's say, and so by recommendation is much easier, and we start from there. We onboard the first 5, then 10, then 20, and we go from there. And as we get the feedback, as I mentioned, very important for us, as we get the feedback, we keep improving our processes, right? So the most important thing is to start, and then we can adapt and see the best way for everyone.
Amazing. Um, just a quick one. Mary. Hi, Mary. Are you in the best position to unmute yourself? Can you tell us a brief about yourself and what you are doing? Are you building anything on Cardano, leading any organization? I don't know if you can.
Yes.
Hi,
Hello.
Mary. Hi, Mary.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mary.
Yes, so I'm Mary from Ghana.
Okay.
I'm part of WIMS Cardano community.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm a community manager with Mr. Sibanda from South Africa.
Amazing.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, that's great. So we have worked with Bernard Sibana for a very long time. Yes, so you are working with a very great team. They also have a very strong agenda to promote Cardano among African universities. And welcome on board, Mary. We hope we'll
Thank
be seeing you
you.
more on the African Town Hall. And tell Bernard about Francisco and his project.
Definitely, I will do that.
Yes,
Thank
amazing.
you.
Hi, Lucas. Good evening, Lucas.
Hey everyone, nice to
Hi.
hear you. All good?
All good, Lucas.
I
Hi,
think,
Lucas.
hi Francisco, welcome. I think a lot of people know me already from being Cardano for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
The reason of being here is since I started on Cardano, I often go to the Latam town hall and to other town halls because I like to keep an eye on what's being done around the world. At 45B, we also have an initiative to help network between grassroots communities. And we had a proposal for the Treasury that didn't get funded. We don't have any catalyst proposals on this fund. I'm really just browsing and exploring. But I'm curious to ask Francisco, for example, when I have my grassroots, it was a proposal, a catalyst proposal, and a treasury proposal on previous funds, but it was just about grassroots. It was literally called Grassroots in Touch. So to get grassroots communities to get to know each other, to share how they organize events, how they teach people, like you were saying, help promote the events better, create networking between the communities. I never really could see an angle of getting investors on board. So how would you promote, like it was the same thing someone was asking you in terms of I see venture capital or something like that, especially for example the accelerators that we have on Cardano. They're not interested in investing in a project that doesn't have token, that doesn't generate transactions, that doesn't have an exit strategy for the investor. So I could never see community building as something that you would market to an investor. How is it that you see that?
It's just because, it depends on the investor, right? So there are investors for everything. You just need to make that market analysis, right? So that's why I mentioned also local investors, local angel investors, right? Because they know the market best. It would be very difficult for, a pre-seed stage company, in a country in Africa and have,
Yeah.
one of the biggest investors in the US. That would be a tough sell, right? Definitely. And so the thing here is how to target the right people, right? And
So there
that's
would
what.
be maybe, for example, the typical sponsor that does, so it's a local communications agency, or like a Vodafone local or something like that, that wants to promote themselves to that community. Could that be more the case, or?
No, so I'm talking, so we are talking about on an investor perspective, right? So being an investor perspective, imagine that a startup starts to work with a telecom company, right? Sooner or later, they
Yep.
may be invested or even acquired, right? So there are a whole set of opportunities, right? And
But when
it
you have,
also.
for example, what they're doing in Congo, where they do touristical visits to show the gorillas and to show the local tourist offering. I'm not sure how you would invest in that,
No, it
So,
depends. Someone invested, that's why it's there. You just need to look for the right investor. And we see, and when we started 2 years ago, in emerging markets, there almost no one was doing this, and now we see a big shift. Now the big boys are looking for the emerging markets and saying, maybe this is interesting,
Mhm.
and there is a lot of testing and with different models. And this is our model, our way of approaching it, right? That's why we are a
Mhm.
data-driven company, because it's all about data. If the data matches, right, the
Yeah.
investors invest into the data. It's not because I say, this founder is amazing, right? They need to have the numbers. The market needs to be there, and so of course that if it's an idea in a university, is very, very difficult. Even if it's in Europe, it's too early stage, right? So it needs to be step by step. That's why I mentioned with bring in local advisors, bring in local investors, and to support and enable the current network. And then we bring our international network, right? They can benefit each other, right? So we cannot only be dependent on the international network. We need to build these bridges, and so
Mhm.
that's also the reason for the platform.
Okay, I'm gonna have a look at the website, Francisco.
Yeah,
It's good to see you working on Cardano. And
yeah, yeah.
like I said, I work a bit on the grassroots side, but it's just a small side of what we do. At 45B, we mostly do education and product management, so Web3 product management. So maybe we can collaborate on this. Let's keep in touch.
Yeah, let me know. We are in contact. We have the TG, so let me know and we
Mhm.
can schedule a call and brainstorm.
Yep. Okay.
It's great
Thanks.
to see you again.
Same.
I am Musa, Unified Cardano student.
GM. First of all, thank you, Catalyst African Town Hall, for bringing this opportunity to give us a platform to connect with people, and also, yeah, thank you, Francisco, for joining us and for letting us know what you are doing in the ecosystem. I'm not going to take much of our time. I just want to let you know, Francisco, we at Unified Cardano Students Lobby, we operate a student decentralized community, right? Where we have where we train students. We have developers in the club. We have community builders. We have different categories in the club. So yeah, I will be reaching out to you to know what better about what you're doing and then how we can actually leverage on what you're doing to help our students, because we have
over 24 tertiary institutions in Nigeria, here in different regions in Nigeria that we've onboarded so far. So yeah, it's going to be a good one to see how we can work with you. Thank you very, very much, Francisco.
No, thank you for participating and being here, because it's needed. Let's do it for sure, schedule a call, brainstorm, because that's also what we need. We need to connect and find the better ways to deliver, right? And so that's what we are here and looking for. Definitely, connect with me on X or LinkedIn, and then we make the connection and we can set up a call.
Amazing. Okay. Anyone else have any question, contributions, or suggestions? That'd be great to hear from you. Hi, Emmanuel. I think it's the first time we are seeing you here. Emmanuel, you want to introduce yourself? Say hello to us.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Horacio Emmanuel. I'm the founder of Crypt, a one-time, not one-time, the winner of the University Cardano Student Hackathon 2025 with Encrypt. So basically, Encrypt is a social media platform for Cardano creators to easily monetize their content through tipping and basically an ecosystem for Cardano creators to have their social layers, build audiences, and monetize basically. So that's me and that's what I'm all about. And I do have a catalyst proposal for Fund 15 as well.
Okay, good to know that you are building on Cardano. Yeah, good to know that. And you're also affiliated with the Unified Cardano Student Club. Amazing. Do you know Remostat?
Yes, I'm very, very familiar with Remo Stars, yes.
I think you should get in touch with them. They will know how to support your project.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we will also have a time to discuss proposals. As usual, right? We organize idea fest, where we give each funders proposals the chance to come and share their proposal with us. During that time, you see that we are more than the numbers we are seeing here. You see a lot of people coming to the town hall when it's time for the idea scale, the idea fest. All over, not only Africans, but all over the globe. We see people here discussing, and it has really helped us a lot because we get to know how people think, the solutions, the problem that they want to solve, and how they want to solve it, right? So it's an amazing time. The date for that is not yet out, but we usually do that during the voting period. And this time around, voting period is in the second week of January to the fourth week. So that's 13th to 27th January. So during that time, we'll be organizing the idea fest. We will announce it on our social media channels so you can get to know it. Our next town hall will be on 19th December. So that will be the last town hall that we'll be having for the year to end. What we are going to do is that we would give retrospect, right? What we have done so far from January 2025 till now, some of the challenges, achievements, and the way forward. And the way forward, you're also part of the plan, how we are going to do that. So please, on the 19th of December, try and make it to the African Town Hall. If you are not in our Telegram group, I've seen the link here. We are about 200 over there. It's a very amazing community where you can also share your project, discuss your proposals and everything, right? So please, you can also follow us on X if you are not already, right? African_town hall. You can also follow us there. We have spent a lot of time already, so I'm not gonna talk much. Those that are not able to attend to this town hall will be able to watch the recap on somewhere Monday or Tuesday. And Francisco, trust me, you get a lot of people eating you up when we launch this, when we publish this video because most of the community members, like I said earlier on, they are busy right now reviewing proposals, so you don't see them here today. But trust me, we have a very strong um community. And those of you that were not able to join our previous town hall, yes, I'll give you the chance, Lucas. Those of you that were not able to join our last town hall, we want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for supporting the Catalyst African Town Hall, for nominating us and then also voting for us to win the Ambassador in Education category for the Cardano Summit 2025. It's a very proud moment for us. And we know this was possible because of you and your support and your belief that you have for us. So thank you. Lucas, over to you.
Oh yeah, congratulations for that. That it is really, really a way to promote you and to reward your work. One thing that I wanted to promote, if you give me a few seconds, is at 45B, we were funded, even back in Fund 11, we're still running cohorts of education and workshops to onboard entrepreneurs, business owners from any line of business. So it could be tourism or any kind of products that people have. If they're working in e-commerce, for example, if they already have a shop, an online shop, we can help those business owners to understand from zero what Web3 is and how they can use Cardano to improve their Web2 business model into a Web3 business model. So if you go to 45b.io/Web3, it's the landing page for this cohort. It's funded. I'm not selling the training. I'm offering it. Catalyst offered it to the community. So if you know any people that are eligible to this kind of description, please invite them to have a look at the page to sign up. We already did one cohort in Portuguese for Portuguese learners, but now we want to do two more cohorts, one in English, global, and one in Portuguese, but also global. So I'm looking for learners from Angola, from Mozambique, from anywhere in the world, Brazil, that are business owners that want to learn about they can include Web3 in their business models. Okay, anyone that you know, friends of friends that are not in Web3 that can learn from this, please promote it to them.
All right, Lucas. Lucas, I think you are doing amazing. You are doing too much that you can use. You can't use only 2 minutes to tell us all of them. So what we're gonna do is
It's
that,
different. Thank you.
Lucas, you have to come
Yes.
back here again, and probably we can plan something. Maybe probably on the 19th December. Come, let's give you the entire time like we gave Francisco. Share with us what you are
Okay.
building. Yeah, because as you are talking, it's
Thank
very
you.
interesting. Yeah, so I'll
I'll be
get in
there.
contact. Yeah, I'll reach out to you, Lucas. Yes, I will reach out to you. Let's plan something. Let's promote what you are doing, and then let the entire Africa community get to know. One interesting thing about African Town is that each of the people you see on the call have their own community. Right? So you might be seeing OBO here, but OBO have over 200 to 400, 400 people. So the information he picks from here goes to those people as well. And that's the amazing part of the African Town Hall. Yes, so we'll get a chance to hear from you, Lucas. Amazing. And we thank you. Thank you very much for coming to today's Town Hall. And
Thank you
Francisco,
as well.
amazing. Francisco is an amazing guy. I met him at the Cardano Summit 2025. And hopefully we'll meet again at the Singapore 2026. Hopefully,
For sure, for sure.
for sure. Yes. Okay, Emmanuel, please, you have only 30 seconds. 30 seconds, Emmanuel.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Lucas, I just checked out the website. I think it's great work. I'll be registering for the form so that I can get a bit more information. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's amazing. Yeah, Emmanuel, are you following? Are you in our Telegram, Emmanuel?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but please, if there's a link, I'll genuinely appreciate it.
Emmanuel, okay, I think I shared the link here a while ago. Can somebody copy and share? Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, I've gotten the link. I've gotten the link.
Okay. Okay, so Mary, everybody, sure, okay, if you're not on the link, you can join us so that anytime we post something or any new update, you get to know what it is. Okay, so officially, I would like to thank you all, especially our today's resource person, Francisco. I know he's a very busy person, but he managed to come here today to share with us what he's building on Cardano. And thank you very much. We really appreciate you, and we'll make sure that we promote you and then your Fund 15 proposal on our platform for honoring to come and talk to our community. This is something like we are giving back to you. And like I said, our next meeting is on the 19th of December. And if all goes well, we will have Francisco here alongside our retrospect meeting that we want to have with you all. So on that note, I'll say bonne nuit, good night, au revoir. Have a sound sleep.
Boa noite.
Bonne nuit.